Welcome to the Chamber Chat, your source for everything Danville and business topics that matter to you. We hope you enjoy the show. Chamber Chat. Chamber Chat.
All right, welcome to the Chamber Chat. We have started these last year because we are now in the new year. Excited to get these going. One of the things that we really wanted to do was focus on education and informing people. So today is the education of Kelly de Benedetto because we were talking about the RDC, and I was just appointed to the RDC. I've officially had 2 meetings under my belt. But if somebody asked me these questions, I couldn't answer anything. I mean, I know a bit about the RDC, but we're going to dive into it a little more and find out what it is. So if you would, introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Lisa, go ahead.
Okay, I am Lisa Ternet, and I'm the town planner for the town of Danville.
I'm Ben Comer. I'm a local business owner and have sat on the RDC for a few years now.
How long has the RDC been in? How long has it been around?
It's been around quite a while. It was inactive, I think, for a while. When I started in 2019, they had just started back up, as I recall.
How long have you been on it?
I was one of the original people to come back on when they started it back up in 2019, 2020.
Okay, so in layman's terms, or Kelly idiot terms, what is an RDC?
Well, an RDC, which stands for Redevelopment Commission, focuses on economic development and reinvestment in properties in the town of Danville through tools of TIF, which is tax increment financing. They also, look at infill development, which is part of that.
Yeah, so the RDC was created under Indiana law by statute by the legislature to give local governments a revenue stream set aside for very specific purposes. Originally to combat blight or like rundown buildings and properties that need fixed. And then has expanded strongly into economic development to use some money specifically to put into infrastructure to attract new business and new investment into the town so that you can gain tax revenue from that investment, give local citizens an opportunity for employment and opportunities for, shopping, dining, things of that nature, quality of life.
Okay, so can you explain the TIF a little more?
I'm going to let you have
Sure.
it.
Yeah, TIF is complicated. And listen, I've been on it for 5 or 6 years now, and it's taken me 5 or 6 years to really get an understanding of it. We have experts on staff through contracts, through legal and financing to help us understand TIF, and they do it every day, and they're join our meetings to help us through this. So essentially it's this, that it takes a snapshot of a particular piece of property. If we want to TIF a particular piece of property, we establish or set and say, okay, here's the taxes today. Let's say that tax bill, let's say that property is generating $10,000 worth of taxes. Okay. And once you establish a TIF, any taxes generated above that 10,000 get set aside specifically for use by the RDC for the statutory purposes of redevelopment or combating blight. Okay. The original 10,000 still goes through its normal channels to the taxing districts, but anything above it is set aside and reserved for these very specific purposes and can only be used for these very specific purposes.
Okay. So if we have a piece of property that doesn't have a building on it yet, and we establish that as a TIF, is it district or? and then it is then developed, then anything over that original property value, correct?
Correct. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
right.
Once it's developed.
That's right.
Okay.
If it's a farm field generating $500 a year in real estate taxes, and a developer comes in and puts a $5 million facility on it, that tax bill is going to jump,
Right.
and that money gets set aside. A lot of times to recruit that particular business into town and give them the infrastructure they need to develop there, so that it does create these opportunities for the local citizens.
That's awesome.
And just to go a little bit further on that, to maybe make it a little bit clearer, so the Redevelopment Commission, through all kinds of legal processes and everything, developed or created an EDA, which is an economic development area.
Okay.
So there is, if you look at a map, we have maps where those economic development areas are. So we know that if someone comes in and they're within that EDA and they request a TIF, they're already in the EDA and they're eligible.
Okay. So if they're not in that EDA, is it a little harder to get that established, or is it possible?
It's possible. I mean, we would have to go through the process, the legal process, to add that into the EDA.
Okay.
Right. So another way of saying the same thing, and just to reiterate, TIF money is eligible to be spent anywhere in the EDA, in
Okay.
that economic development area that's been established.
Okay. Can someone find our EDA on our website?
I am not sure if those are on our Beacon website, but they can, yes, they should be able to find those on our website, yes.
Okay. All right. That's cool. All right. So now we know what a TIF is, and we have a better understanding of the Redevelopment Commission. So let's talk about what are some projects that we are looking at right now. I know there's one I'm excited about, east of town.
Right. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, one of the projects that we're looking at, the Redevelopment Commission has set aside a certain amount of money to help the town with extension of wastewater to our southeast quadrant of Danville, which we are wanting to market for light industrial. There's a couple others, some of our alley activations. The Redevelopment Commission has assisted in those.
Right.
Others.
Yes. There are miscellaneous sites here and there that we may be able to jump in and help get developed. Perhaps west of Walmart, the land that's west of Walmart that's undeveloped would be prime retail opportunities, and it has its challenges about access and infrastructure. But probably what I consider the most lucrative potential project for the town of Danville for years to come is another industrial park situated between the landfill and the airport. It's perfect for industrial, but to get that done, we have to have infrastructure in place. You have to have sanitary sewer. You have to have a road system. You have to have water in order for them to even break ground, to even recruit a business, to even look at it.
Yeah.
The first questions they're going to ask is it shovel ready?
Yeah.
Because we're ready to do our project like next year. Can you have all that stuff in place next year? It takes years of planning to get those things done.
It does.
And so the RDC has spent the majority of its time really focused on that area because of the amount of potential investment that we could get into that land and recoup back through real estate taxes for generations to come.
And I think a lot of people will question, like when we say industrial, we're not talking like the giant big boxes like in Plainfield or right off 39, correct?
Correct. That's not what we anticipate happening in Danville. It'll be a smaller scale.
Those are distribution centers, and they're distribution centers, and they're located there because of their access to highways. We don't have an access to a highway right here. Those are located around the I-70, the airport, Ronald Reagan, where they have easy access to 74, 65, 70. We don't have that here, so it's going to be a different type of industrial located in this area. That's what we anticipate.
When somebody asks me, I normally say like Flavor Burst, who I feel like has been a great community partner for us. But it's a great size. It employs several people as well. But
Right.
you know,
And
it's
it
a
could
great
be
opportunity.
something larger than that.
Yeah.
But definitely not on the scale that you see in Brownsburg, Avon, and Plainfield.
So I'm glad you brought that up, Kelly, because it's a great example of what we're talking about. A prior RDC, before it went vacant for a while, that was an RDC project,
okay.
that industrial park. And it was controversial at that time. There were people who did not like that. Yet here we sit today with those buildings in place. We're collecting tax dollars literally for generations to come. It's employing people, and it adds to the quality of life here. So it's the same concept that's already been done. And hopefully 25 years from now, we have new investment in the town of Danville that's paying great taxes to us and is employing people.
Well, I think one of the things we've done a really great job of lately is we've got our 1%, our roofs coming in, but we've got to get that 3%, in my opinion, to really help offset some of the cost of our community.
Yeah, and that's a good point. That's what we're trying to do. Over the last 5 or 6 years, we've had a lot of residential development. So this is going to kind of balance that out and give us that 3% tax rate that the town's going to need.
And I don't know anybody that really wants to move next to the landfill, so I think that's prime
Correct.
location.
Right.
Agreed?
It's also an airport overlay district, and major subdivisions, major plots are not allowed in that district, in the
That's
airport
good to know.
overlay district, yes.
So not only do they, not want to smell it, they,
They don't live there.
planes
Right.
flying over them.
Yeah.
Not that we have a whole lot of planes moving in and out as, an extreme, but.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Right.
The airport authority does have more land, and their future plans do call for an extended runway.
And then I think, I look at what they've done up off of, is it 30? No, it's not 39. Hamilton County, the one in Hamilton County, and just the amount of infrastructure that's come in right around there just because they have done so much with that airport. So hopefully that will come to fruition.
Yes, it has great potential, and that really is where our focus is on the 3%, and then one down to the 2% that falls within retail. But we don't spend any time talking about residences or future residential development. Our goal is to offset whatever potential negative impact that may have.
Yep. So one of the things people are always asking me is how do we continue to grow but keep our small town charm? Because we were talking about it the other day. I mean, we are a hallmark town. How do we keep that with growth?
Well, we do that through several different ways. The core of our town is definitely historical, and we have zoning rules. We have land use restrictions in place that is going to protect that small town historical. Plus, I think everyone in the town wants to keep that and maintain that. So there's no intent to industrialize, I guess for lack of a better term, downtown Danville. We want to keep downtown Danville the same.
Ironically, I mean, we look at the towns around us and they're trying to create what we have. And so I think that we just continue to, build on it and make it even
Right.
better.
Right, I agree.
So, okay. Okay, the comp plan. So how does RDC take into consideration with what we have? We just finished a comp plan, 2 years ago now?
Yes, 22.
2 years ago.
22.
22. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, time
22,
flies when
yes.
you're
It
having
does.
fun.
Yeah. Well, the comp plan, of course, is a guide. It's not like a zoning ordinance or subdivision control ordinance. It's a guide that kind of lays out the future development, generally 10 to 20 years into the future. And that's something that we refer to all the time is our comprehensive plan to see where those land uses lie. Where does the commercial? Where is the residential? Where is the industrial? So from that standpoint, that's what the comprehensive plan does. And the area that we are focusing on for industrial is laid out in our comprehensive plan.
So is that plan, is that area, that is part of it, have we made that a TIF district already? Or is that in the plans too, or is that part of the EDA? Where is that?
The majority of that land is not in the town of Danville presently.
Okay,
We have been working with landowners out there to get them annexed into the town,
okay,
which is the first step towards making anything happen. And eventually, yes, we will most likely create a separate tax TIF district down there, a separate EDA for that section.
okay.
But it has not yet because a low percentage of the land is currently in the town limit.
So when we do a TIF district there, now is there a term on that? Or is that we get TIF money for that forever? Or is there a term on it?
There is a term on it. I'd have to defer to the experts on this, but I want to say off the top of my head it's 25 years, but we can set something lower than that if we wanted to, but I believe the max is 25.
I think you're right about that.
Okay.
5 years. And the area that he was talking about not being under the town's jurisdiction, we have recently, within the last, I would say 3 months, we have annexed quite a bit of that area. It's actually gone through recording. So we do, there's still a lot of ground that we're working on. We have a pending annexation right now for some of the rural area, but we're getting there.
We're making progress.
Taking in a lot, yes.
We've made a conscious effort to make this happen, and it is coming to fruition.
I think it can't come fast enough.
Right.
I've got a business looking for a couple of acres right now to put, I would say maybe light industrial. It's super light industrial in my opinion, but can't find a spot.
I'm excited about the opportunity of what it can bring to the town.
Yeah.
And I get calls every day, people that, what kind of, where's your industrial land? And I tell them, what we're working now is to get our infrastructure there so that we can say, yes, this is ready.
Yep. No, I think people, the business that I've been talking to for several months now, they really want to move to Danville. This is a community that they want to be part of. They love the community. They're like, we want to move out here. We want to bring our business here. And so I love that we're a community that people want to be a part of.
We have a lot to offer.
We do. We do. So public-private partnerships, how does that work within the RDC and what we do?
For that too.
Right, it's all in the legalities of the state statute of how that can work. And I personally have limited exposure to that to really give you a great answer, other than we defer to the attorneys to tell us what can be done and how it needs to be done. But it can be done through the state statute to where both sides contribute a certain portion, right? Or that the RDC is going to contribute such and such an amount. And it is an effective means of getting projects off the ground.
And I think that we have people, Lisa and I had the opportunity to go out to Las Vegas, met with several developers, brought them here, and then toured the town. And several of them are very encouraged by what they see in Danville and what they're interested in bringing to Danville, whether it's, small shopping centers or, some other opportunities. So, all right. What type of development brings the biggest long-term benefit to the residents, commercial, residential, mixed use? What are your thoughts?
When you say what type of development, you're talking about like commercial mixed use?
Commercial
Is that
mixed
what you're
use,
talking
yeah.
about? Yeah.
Or is it just, in your mind?
Retail, apartments, that's kind of, we're working with some people right now to do kind of a mixed use, to get some retail and residential.
The answer is kind of all the above, and we need all different types, right? And for different reasons. You need the industrial because it pays the most taxes, and it's the most expensive, right? It's the most to build, and therefore it pays the most taxes. Got to have it. It pays a lot of bills for the town,
yeah.
Right? Roads, sewers, et cetera, et cetera. You need the retail at a 2% cap rate to add to quality of life. Where are we going to shop? We don't. It'd be great if you don't have to leave town for anything you need. It's all right here. So that definitely adds to the quality of life, having retail opportunities. And as for the housing, I'll leave that to other commissions and boards to decide. I'm really focused on the industrial and the commercial.
And the plan is to invite the other boards and commissions to come in and do a podcast with them to also talk about what they have going on and kind of what comes through their door and their meetings. What challenges does the RDC have? What are some challenges that we face?
The challenges that we face is it's really complicated subject matter, and it's hard to understand, and I would say public perception perhaps is a big challenge for us on just trusting on what we're doing is for the future of the town and in the best interest of the town for the long term. Other challenges are working with the state of Indiana Department of Transportation. INDOT controls Main Street, US 36. Any road cuts coming in or off, we have to get their permission. That layer of government red tape is a challenge. The CSX Railroad, located between 36 and this potentially awesome industrial park, CSX doesn't care about Danville, Indiana, or trying to cross their train tracks. So finding access points that are going to be viable and useful to really allow this development to occur is a big challenge as well.
Yeah, so we have a lot of communication that we have to have with state and federal entities, INDOT, the airport, CSX. So there are a lot of challenges, but I think that we're going to be able to work through those.
I'm very grateful for smarter people in the room than me. Very grateful for that.
I feel that way at our meetings too, when our legal counsel and finance counsel step up. They're amazing. We couldn't do it without them because it's so complicated.
Absolutely.
I mean, we know what we want. They just tell us how to get it.
Right. We just have to know how to get there.
Exactly.
How to get there.
Right.
All right. So, if residents and business owners have a voice in redevelopment decisions, how does someone express what they would like to see?
Well, the Redevelopment Commission meets once a month, and our meetings are live, so they can go to YouTube and watch them live, or they are more than welcome to come to the town hall, council meeting room, and sit in the audience, and they can hear everything that is discussed.
And they can sign up to talk, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they can sign up to talk.
Absolutely.
There's an opportunity. It's not closed doors.
We're very transparent.
Everyone's welcome.
We spend a lot of time talking about different areas and projects, but can guarantee there's some we're overlooking or not seeing, or maybe not viewing correctly that we would love to hear other opinions on.
I would love to see more people kind of get involved and really, rather than just sitting back and watching it happen, let's be proactive. Right. That's my theory is, if you want something, you got to ask for it, and you got to be proactive.
Well, that and if you don't understand, if someone doesn't understand what's going on, call us. We'll be more than happy to walk them through whatever's going on and try to explain.
Happy to. All right. Can you share? I think we talked about this. An example of a project that has changed. Based on community feedback, or I feel like we talked about the area where Flavor Burst is really kind of changed our community, but is there another area that we've gotten to or things that we've done?
I can't think of anything that's really changed what we're doing. Maybe has kind of slowed down processes, but I don't think that there's anything that's that I can think of. And maybe
I can tell you this, that in the when we went through the comprehensive plan process, and we had open meetings and come to Bostic Gym and be part of the process and tell us where we need improvement in the town. What do we need to be a better town? Opportunities, things like that. And that is kind of guiding where we are focusing our time. And a lot of it hasn't come to fruition, like, look at this new building that's over here that came because of what the RDC did. It's taken years literally to build up to be able to keep pushing forward and try to make something like that happen due to the challenges. But those comments are guiding us on where we spend our time and energy on trying to make things happen.
One of the small projects we just voted on last week, I believe, was the lighting between the schools. And I think that is people are like, well, how does that, RDC? Schools. If you look at anything for people wanting to come to our community, schools are the number one driver of, what people want when they're looking to move to a community.
It is, most
So-
definitely, yeah.
It's true.
Say schools.
And I mentioned this in that meeting. So I also serve on the board of directors for the County Economic Development Commission. So I hear a lot about projects coming into other towns and into the state, and our competition out of state that are also competing for those companies to come invest in their town. And where they're locating, the opportunities in that town makes a difference to these business owners on where they want to locate. It's not all about access. Some of it is, let's make sure the schools are great so that our employees have a great school system for their kids. The parks need to be great. The police and fire need to be great. So literally, we need to be great as a town to recruit this investment in so that they spend their tax dollars here and can help make our town better.
We want their tax dollars because that pays for the park, the police, the fire,
Correct.
all of the things that, the necessities of our town. Oh, by the way, infrastructure to make sure that your toilet does flush.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And they have walking trails and all
Yep.
of those good things.
Anything else that you think everyone needs to know?
I think that we've pretty much covered everything.
Okay.
I guess the only thing I could say is stay tuned. Watch our YouTube videos. Every commission and board that we have here in the town is live. You can watch anything you want. If you don't want to watch and you want to call and ask a question, please call.
All right. Go ahead. Do you have something?
Oh, just that everything we do is transparent. You just have to tune in and pay attention. It's
Absolutely.
not necessarily going to come find you. That clarity is not going to come find you. But if you want to know what's going on, all you have to do is tune in and pay attention.
Absolutely. All right. So we always end every podcast with give us a quote or a piece of advice that you kind of live your life by that has helped direct you. So anything that you guys can think of that you can share?
Well, having been in the government side of the world for so long, I think for me it is try to be understanding, be kind, and be understanding and kind.
I like that.
I have so many, it would be hard to boil down. But yeah, essentially, everything's circular. So whatever you're putting out there is going to come back to you. And the people that serve on the RDC are honestly trying to do their best for our town. And that will come back around, and I'm looking forward to that day.
Is the RDC paid?
No, we're
These
all
are volunteer
we're all
people.
volunteers.
They're the only board and commission that is not paid.
Oh, all right.
We just love donating our time.
All right. So Ben, should we have a whole nother podcast just to talk about all of your quotes and advice that you have?
Probably not.
I'd like to hear that.
I think we could probably
Yeah.
sell that one.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I feel like I've learned a bit more than I didn't know, with our partnership with the town for economic development. That's a bit of our contract with the town. I learned a little more, and I'm excited. So thank you both for coming on.
Thank you.
A pleasure.